In this video, I'm going to explain why side hustles are exploding. So if you're ever thinking about getting a side hustle or getting a side business or building a business or want to know what's going on in America right now, this is the video for you. Let's get right into it. It's Justin, Mr. CMB. I'm back with another video. Shout out to everybody who's liking, subscribing, and sharing the channel. Let's get right into it. So it's an article that I saw earlier today. It's talking about more Americans are taking on side hustles. So I got my trusty computer here with some notes, just letting you know. They're doing side hustles in 2024, including self-employed gigs. Now, we all know about the gig economy. That's nothing new. It's something that I've actually been on since, I would say, 2008, 2009. Really young, working with apps and building apps and stuff like that. But now, you know, DoorDash, Uber Eats, all these other TaskRabbit, all these other gig work apps that we see in gig work programs, they're the norm. So it's the normal right now. And we all know why. It's because of inflation. Everything's going up and more people aren't making enough more money or aren't getting raises fast enough. So they haven't gotten their skills up fast enough to keep up with inflation. So you see more and more people taking on side hustles. So I'm gonna get right into this article. I'm gonna break this down and then I'm gonna give you my thoughts and solutions for you, because you know I end videos with solutions every single time. So let's get right into it. So warning, this does not look good. I've read the article before I started this, but this is not good. And I should actually pull it up here. I wish I could share my screen, but we're not going to do that today. So it says 80% of US adults say they have at least one source of financial stress. 80%. That's crazy. With 30% citing managing living expenses as their big financial stressor, followed by managing debt and saving and investing. Now, quiet is kept. Like I've said on this channel before, I probably said it 2 years ago when I first started, maybe 3 years ago when I first started taking this channel seriously, but I've been on YouTube for probably like 7 years now. For this channel is I've said that most people are living off of credit cards. And I've told people this, a lot of people are living off credit cards. They have money. They probably have money in the bank. It's not saying that they're broke. They probably do have money. They're probably saving money. They probably have a nice fat savings account. But most people are living off of credit cards. That's just what it is. Why do you think so many people are traveling, especially this summer? Like so many people are traveling because they are using credit cards. Anyway, it says 70% of Americans feeling stressed about their finances. 70%. And I can guarantee you 10 years ago, it was nowhere near this high. It says with so many people dealing with increased financial stress, many are turning towards alternate ways of making income. Multiple jobs, side hustles, freelance gig work, independent contracting, and they're missing one important component that most people won't reveal or they don't even know exists, is the underground economy. And people don't want to talk about that. I could talk about that, but I would have to put that behind a paywall. So you guys let me know if you want to talk about the underground economy. Anyway, the employment reporting says U.S. the Labor Department shows that Americans who hold a part-time job in addition to a full-time position, it's been on a rise. 5 million by Q4 of last year. That's a lot of people. And when you're talking about the population of America, it's 330 million people here in America. And this is not including undocumented immigrants. But most of that population is kids. I think it's around like 130 million people that are actually adults. 5 million doing it. That's a lot. That's a lot of people. And it says in 2022, excuse me, I'm sorry, and 22% of adults in the workforce, it says 22% of adults in the workforce were juggling secondary source of income. Fast forward to today, it's 26% and it's crept up. And it's just the numbers, but the numbers is not the problem. It's the stories behind the numbers. That's why I say I look at the numbers, but you got to look at context, and the context is usually the story behind the numbers. Most people are actively seeking gigs or secondary sources of income in 2024, as evidenced by 20% increase since December. I'm not shocked about that. Honestly, I think it's more than that. I think 20% is very generous. I personally would think it's around 30 to 40%. That's just me. That's what I think, So I did a poll Well, in 2021, how many people had a side or secondary gig? 22% of people said yes in 2021. In 2024, 26% people say yes. Now, here's the kicker. No, but I'm actively looking. 18% said yes for this year. That's light. That's a lot. That's a lot. Now, you got to understand, like, side hustles are a huge secondary source of income. You know, most earn less than 50K a year for the extra money. It's still some extra money. And compared to 35% of those who actually, you know, they're primary self-employed, and 31% of those aren't interested in self-employed work. Which is, you know, like I said, entrepreneurship or business ownership or business building is not for everybody. It's just not. So it seems that the side hustles are more inclined to earn less than average, which is, I mean, it's true because you're capped on your income. And what do I mean by that? I think DoorDash, Uber, well, I'll use Uber as an example, Uber or Lyft as an example. I look at Uber and Lyft as more of a temporary solution to a temporary problem. And you have a lot of people using this as this temporary solution for a long-term problem. And what I mean by that, you use these apps to make extra money, hit a goal, get out. You use these apps to make in a transition period where you're trying to either stack more money, maybe you need to cover some expenses, maybe you're switching careers, or maybe you're looking to actually elevate your skill set, and you want to take on something to supplement that until you learn this new skill set that's going to pay you way more. But I see so many people get in the trap of constantly getting an Uber and Lyft and not getting out. There's no exit strategy. It's because the money is every day and it comes pretty easy for the most part, but it's very taxing. And you won't want to get stuck in this cycle of a hypnotic rhythm of just working this just to get this next $100, this next $200 today, and doing it over and over and over again. You got to have an end game, because one thing's going to be for certain: if you don't have it even structured like a business, which what you should do if you're doing Uber or Lyft, what you need to do is structure like a business, take some money, put it in an LLC, create a business bank account, hire a payroll processor, and every time you get paid, export that money into a business bank account, write yourself a check. So it looks like taxable income. And that's what you really want to do, so you're not extraordinarily taxed at the end of the year. You need to do something towards that means, but you need to have an exit plan out of that, right? Because I see so many people getting these gig jobs and they're stuck in purgatory for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. And in that five years, you could have gained a skill set. You could have gained a skill set in a matter of months to a year that could double your pay than what you're doing that right now, without actually working all these long hours. And technically, you don't actually have the freedom. You have to work during the busy times, right? It's Justin right here, Mr. CMB, and I'm just making this because a lot of you don't know that you can actually wholesale auction properties from anywhere in the world without spending thousands and thousands of dollars on marketing, slamming the phones, and have some sort of time freedom, being a part-time investor, making a full-time income. And I don't just mean like $10,000. You can literally legitly annually make a six-figure income and even scale up from there and go in other avenues of real estate. Now, it's not for everybody. If you don't have a job, if you don't have any ambition, it is not for you. But if you're an entrepreneur, if you're already a business owner, or if you're someone who does have income coming in, stable income from a job or something, this is for you. Click the link below, schedule a call with me and my team, and we'll hop on the phone call, see if you're a good fit for you, and we'll just break down everything for you in detail so you have a crystal clear picture that you can actually get into this. All right, back to the video. So all in all, the biggest things it says in this article: managing living expenses, saving, investing money. We know that. So solutions. I always say this, and I say this on most of my videos. What you need to do, gig work is cool, but it's not the solution to your problem. It's a transition to the solution. And what I mean by that, you use those, like I just said, to move to your next point. Now, this is what you want to do. If you're in one of these gig works, what you got to understand is you gotta get a hardcore skill or start a real business. These are two strategies I suggest, is because they're very tangible and foundational. If you're able to get a skill set, like a trade, you can leverage that into a high 5-figure, 6-figure salary. That's what you want to be at. That's literally like a good starting point, right? And then what you want to do if you, let's say you don't want to get a skill set or a trade, which I think everybody should at this point, where this economy is moving, you should never stop learning. Let's say you want to start a business. What you need to do is be able to fund that business, and whatever profits you make from that business, you keep the profits in the business. I'm gonna say it again. You keep the profits in the business. That is not your money. That is not your money. You do not spend any money in that side business. That's why you want to keep your job. You keep your Uber or your Lyft or your TaskRabbit, any other gig job. You're gonna have to spread yourself thin. But this is what most people are gonna do until they actually have a high income skill set. And because you want to get to a point where you're at that. Like for instance, one of the things I do is, I actually have high income skill sets. I could have something that I'm actually offering to a business and charge, $20,000 for that, $10,000 for that, $5,000 for that. And the reason why is because of skill sets. Now, I'm not going to get into how I learned these because it took years to actually learn these skill sets, but this is where you can actually do quantum leaps. And you need to get to that point. But these are tangible things you can do. And let me know, drop a comment below if you actually want a detailed blueprint of how to actually work these gig work jobs and actually really get out of them and treat it actually like an actual business and get benefits from it that you're probably not getting from it right now. So that's all I want to say. Those are solutions now. So I hope you like this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you later. Peace.